Guys, welcome to Antler Assassin's TV Arrow Building Edition. We've got some NASP arrows that my son Kentley shoots that he's going to talk to you a little bit about. And I've got some FMJs that we're going to fletch with some different vanes. I did build a set of these the other day with the Max Stealth vanes on the topography wraps. They're a 4-fletch. So we're going to build a little bit different build today. We're going to do a 3-fletch on the Xvane and take you through a little bit of the build process. It's a snowy day in Michigan. It's winter. Hunting season is just about over. I figure what better to do than build some arrows. So that's what we got going on. Kentley's going to tell you a little bit about his arrow setup and build.
So right now we have the Easton 1820s arrows for NASP, and we have the white Knox, and what we're going to be using is this fletching jig, and what we're going to be using are these topography wraps, and we're going to be using the Bohning Xvanes right here. Just like the style of the little sharp tip, but yeah, that's what we're going to be doing.
One thing we found is if you have kids that shoot NASP, as you dig a little further into the rule book, when you buy the 1820s, they come pre-fletched and are ready to shoot. The rule book does allow a little bit of leeway for you to use wraps and vanes that you may want to customize, maybe to play with a little bit and see if you can gain a little bit of accuracy. They do have to remain within a certain specification. They have to be between 2.5 and 3 inches long and 0.25 inches in height, which is pretty close to what the Max Stealth vane is. We did build a set of those for him as well. He's going to build another set with the Xvane. They cannot have a helical. They can have up to a 1.5 degree offset, which will give you a little bit of rotation in your arrow flight. One thing to remember, obviously, when shooting NASP is if you're using wraps, that your arrow flight may slow down a little bit. So something that your kids may want to get with their coaches and talk to them a little bit if parents aren't that familiar with archery in the NASP world on how their arrow flight's going to be affected. May have to play with some draw weights, and yeah, just something cool that we found and that we're taking advantage of. So we're going to go through the build process here. I'm going to change camera views here for a second and show you the how we wrap and how we fletch. All right, so these are the 1820s. That's one of my FMJs. I'll push out of the way, but these are the wraps. I'm going to show you how we wrap these. It's a really simple operation. What I would recommend if you're not doing this regularly is if you have a mouse pad or a gun takedown pad that's like made of the mouse pad material that you can lay out, that'll give you that smooth surface. We're using just kind of a blanket that's covering our air hockey table today. But you want to gently peel back that wrap and pull it off. Try not to get too many fingerprints on there because you don't want to mess with that adhesive. All right, so we're going to set this down. One thing that you can do is actually use the corner of the back of your wrap paper. So what we want to do is you want to line this up as close to the corners as possible. Get you a nice square edge. All right, so got it pretty straight along the bottom, straight along the side. Now what we're going to do, take the back side. You don't want to go up all the way to the knock because you could see that these have like pin knock style knocks in them, so it does have a little bit of taper to the back. So you'll want to get up right to the edge of the black on the back, make them even all the way across before you roll. And once you're even, we're going to very gently apply some pressure here in the middle and just roll until it catches our wrap. And we'll roll all the way around. And we'll get that out of the way. Give it a little bit of a roll there. You can even do a little bit of a roll in your hand. That heat from your hand will help activate the adhesive. Give it a little rub right down that seam. You can even go over it a few times like this, just make sure it's nice and flat. One thing that we're going to start with, our very first vane, and you can adjust your knock if you need to. We have these little adjusters that you can use if your fingers get a little roughed up, but you can twist your knocks. But we're going to lay our first fletching directly over that seam, and that's going to help hold that down. Not that these really have much of an issue with being held down, but that's how we're going to do that. All right, so we got our vane clamped into our straight clamp, and we have our mark for our X vane. It's 3 notches up. We marked it with a little dot, and we're going to glue with some Bohning fletch glue. You can use a primer pen on these for maximum adhesion, but never had a problem with just gluing them on. You want a nice steady bead, no air bubbles. You don't want to over glue, because whenever you clamp down it will glob out and kind of push the glue out. So we'll start with that. Clamp it down and apply some pressure to it for about 15 to 20 seconds evenly from front to back. And that's going to give time for that glue to set up. This about 2 hours time for a setup. Actually, it's about 10 minutes for a setup, 2 hours to cure. So if you're doing arrows, you don't want to shoot them right away. You want to give them a good time to dry. So that should be good. We're going to release our clamp, and we're going to clip onto the next, or we're going to roll our jig to the next setting. And we're going to click in for number 2. And I'm going to go ahead and put this on a time lapse and give us a little bit of speed and how we do this, and show you the finished product on the NASP arrow. What you know about rolling down in the deep? When your brain goes numb, you can call that mental freeze. When these people talk too much, it in slow motion, yeah, I feel like an astronaut in the... All right, so he's got that arrow done. One thing that we do is this paper towel is always an important tool in the shop. We're going to very lightly go up the edge of the vane. Anything that may have seeped out, we're going to wipe off. If you get a little bit of extra on there, it's not that big a deal. If you're building hunting arrows or target arrows, they don't have to be super pretty, even though these look pretty good. There is one more step in this process, is we're going to do what they call tipping and tailing. So we're going to take, and I like to use super glue, we're going to tip a dot of glue on each fletching at the front and each one at the back, and we'll set those arrows up to dry. But you can see there that is a beautiful 1.5 degree offset, perfectly fletched and wrapped NASP practice or tournament arrow. So we're just finishing the last couple arrows up. Nice steady glue trail. This is not a real fancy fletching jig. It's a Xvane. You can get them on Amazon. I can tell you that it will do everything that a $100 Blitzenberger will do. You can do your offset, right or left helical, or straight fletch. I can do 3 fletch, 4 fletch. There's really no point in buying something real crazy expensive, because this does everything that you will need it to do.
Also, another thing to keep in mind is whenever you're putting this on, you want to have the back magnet go on first, have this part right here touch that, and then hold on with both hands. Keep your right thumb by the nock, not touching the wrap or else you get glue on it, and just hold it tightly with both hands and wait for about 10 to 20 seconds. And then after that, whenever you take it off, hold with your right hand or whatever hand you want, hold your arrow, and then slowly pull up without hitting your fletching. And then just turn it to the next notch, and then you're good to go.
Rolling down in the deep, when your brain goes numb, you can call that mental freeze. When these people talk too much, put the slow motion, yeah. I feel like an astronaut in the ocean, ay. What you know about rolling down in the deep? When your brain goes numb, you can call that mental freeze. When these people talk too much, put motion, yeah. I feel.
All right, there is our NASP Genesis 1820s. They've got a 3 fletch straight offset, 1.5 degrees. This is on a 3-inch Bohning Xvane, and that is within NASP specifications. I'll provide a link down in the description to the rule book for NASP for Bullseye and 3D. If anybody's looking at building their own arrows and want to see the information for themselves. But I thought it was fun that we were able to do this, to play with some accuracy and build some pretty sweet arrows.
Well, I like the way these turned out. I feel like they look pretty solid. So I have some arrows over there too, the tournament arrows. I feel like these ones look pretty cool. I like the sharp edges, and I like the way it turned out.
So this is a fairly new thing for Kentley. He's shot NASP for a while, but as far as fletching arrows, this is his second time doing it, and he's done a fantastic job. These arrows look sweet. They probably are just as nice as anything as you could buy professionally. The offset looks awesome. The vanes look awesome. The wraps look awesome. So nice job, dude.
Thank you. Thank you for teaching me. I like the way they turned out.
Good job.
Thanks.
Nice work. All right, everybody. Thanks for watching, and shoot straight.